Greetings and welcome to the Dr. Upiomoh channel, global re-education for rejuvenating humanity's heritage, a place where indigenous wisdom elevates the mind to restore the gift of common sense for a meaningful life. I am Dr. Upiomoh and I welcome you to the show. Today we'll be addressing the concept of who are our ancestors. As simple as that is, the meaning and understanding of it will do you some good from the place of our indigenous understanding and philosophy. We will also touch on other concepts such as wandering spirits, what really are they and what really do they. We'll be touching on some other things that you would not want to miss. Please do stay with us. And thank you for being a part of the Dr. Upiomoh channel.
Welcome to the Dr. Upiomoh channel, global re-education for rejuvenating humanity's heritage. The place where indigenous wisdom elevates the mind and restores the gift of common sense for a meaningful life.
Welcome back to the Dr. Upiomoh channel. You know what? In the last episode, we talked about how the richness of our culture, of our ancestral ways to serve as preservation from the religious wars that have been going on for centuries, over 1,000 years now, actually. And it helps us understand what the 2025 of what has actually been, you see. And it also reminds me of the wisdom of our ancestors when they say, we leave the cow and go after a snake for meat. You see, you leave your cow and go after a snake for meat. It's their wisdom of saying that all you need to protect yourself, to keep yourself whole, to preserve yourself from generation to the other, so that even if one falls, the next generation takes the sword and keeps going, or in this case, takes on and keep preserving and keeps going from generation to generation is our culture. And it's everything we need to preserve, it's in the land. Everything we need to help us understand, learn of our existence, it's all in the land. And there are those in the land that can actually guide us to the truth as our ancestors know it to preserve as well. All right, so I had addressed the knowing that some of us who are new to the idea of, or to the concept rather, I meant to say concept of our ancestors. Who are our ancestors? How do we know them? Sometimes we hear the word, we use it, we really don't know what it is, right? All right, so we will be speaking to who the ancestors are, the power of the ancestors in our lives. Please kindly note that there is a difference between a dead relative and an ancestor, okay? So I will be, again, my intention is not to make today's segment a long one, today's show a long one. We will be speaking briefly, just touching on things. I will also like to refer you to kebtah.org, kebtah.org, KEBTAH.org. It is one place for indigenous communities to where you can go to find answers. It's one place that the world can go to find certain answers about indigenous knowledge. Okay, now let's go on. So who are the ancestors? Your ancestors, our ancestors, are different from dead relatives. When you have a dead relative, the manner with which you bury them can elevate them, or will usually elevate them to the status of ancestors. Now, after they are buried, you then continuously honor your dead. You then continuously feed your dead a morsel of food and a drop of water, or of wine, of palm wine, or gin. There's what we call akara, bean cake, milk. There are foods they liked when they were here. Still give it to them. They will love it. They will appreciate you for it. Now, you may wonder how that whole significance is just on the floor. It's still there anywhere and it's not going anywhere, right? Yeah, you may wonder that. Again, it's beautiful to to be fortunate to encounter the intelligence of indigenous philosophies, of our indigenous worldview. You see, when our elders and teachers in the temple help us understand the very importance of life itself, and they break it down in such a way that even a 5-year-old, even a 2-year-old can understand sometimes. So, you see, I speaking with you, I am flesh and blood talking with you. The essence of me, the part of me that you cannot see or feel, is that part that is keeping me alive. Is that part that is making me this animated talking with you, correct? Good. All right, you may say, what is that part? In the simplest form, the air that I breathe. Once it ceases from me, I will still remain the flesh and bones speaking with you. My hair will still be there. My face will remain. My hands will remain. The clothes I'm wearing, everything remains except that there is no life. You see, in this modern world where we get these big degrees, we have doctors, philosophers still ask the question, what is the meaning of life? So you mean you spend all these tens and tens of years all through university, you're doing projects, medical projects even for that matter, or you're doing philosophical degrees, and you cannot answer that simple question. And that question, I remember even in the universities, become such an existential wonder that people will ask, wow. Well, without going much into that, I hope that even that which I'm saying will trigger some thoughts in you. So now going back to this metaphor, I am on the ground, no life in me, yet everything remains the same, except I'm no more animated. Will you then say that that essence of me that you could not see or touch, would you not say that is more powerful than the essence of me in the physical form at this time that you can see and touch? Yes, that is it. It is the deceit of the modern world that we don't even know the basic importance and essence of life and how to deal with that. Now, it means that we don't know nature or understand nature. Because if as a part of nature, we don't even know the meaning of life, then would we say we've actually been living life? All right. I will not go that deep now. Let us keep it at surface level, okay? All right. So, the food you give to your ancestors, the essence they take, what you now see is what we will call just the picture of what is no longer there or what is there. Yes. Okay? So, when you feed them, you also help them become ancestors. Now, there are certain ceremonies that we also do to help them gain that level of being ancestors. Some of our cultures will call it, I will reference first the Kem culture. The Kem culture, as it was from the times of the pharaohs, which is still practiced today, and the Dogon priest and the Napa temples are still custodian of that culture. It is referred to as the opening of the mouth ceremony. Now, the opening of the mouth ceremony is one of those ceremonies you can do to elevate your dead relative to the position of ancestor. So, for those of us, there was a time actually in our history, the entire world described us as the ones who buried their dead. We taught the world how to bury our dead, how to bury their dead, and not burn them when they die. It is so crucial for us to bury our dead properly. So if you have a wedding going on the same time a burial is going on, you will find people attend the burial ceremonies rather than the weddings. Now, what happens is when you bury your dead properly, you already elevate your dead to the position of an ancestor. After that, after a year, there is another ceremony that will be done. After that, the measure number again is 5, and the measure number I think is 10, and it goes on. Okay, so these are important milestones that must be fulfilled in order to keep your dead strong and ongoing, and then the periodic feeding of our dead. There are very important dates when we feed our dead to enable them continue to have power, to have energy so that they can guide and protect us they are leaving. Okay? Now, it is important for them that we live well because it is through us that they will be coming back to this world. Now, I want to help us understand the concept of wandering spirit because that is closely related. I'm a woman of merit, so I got some strong tongue. So sometimes you find my tongue rolling. Okay, it's part of what makes me me, and I love it. All right, so there is the concept of wandering spirit, and in different faith or different religion, we familiar with it. And we go to church, we go to mosques, or we go to miracle centers to pray, casting out the wandering spirit to destroy, and all of that. That is fine and dandy. But it is important for us to understand the concept of wandering spirits, okay? Let us, now, from the worldview of our ancestors, from our indigenous philosophical worldview, what are wandering spirits? Wandering spirits are dead relatives that are not buried well. They have not crossed the road to the other side. So they are wandering, they are helpless, they are restless. Why do we have a whole lot of wandering spirits than we ever did today? We do have them because hardly people are burying their dead these days. Burying your dead is beyond digging a hole and putting them on the ground. There are traditional rites that we learned by the Creator from the divine worlds themselves on how we bury our dead. So what happened is that as wandering spirits, these dead relatives will cause you lots of problems. They are creating those problems not because they are wicked, but they are doing it as a way to get your attention to the point where you can seek help from the appropriate source, and they will tell you, well, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do that. Or this relative, go bury your relative well, or go fix this problem in your family. Now, in order for you to understand that concept, you should be able, or you may want to understand one of the reasons why we came into this world. What is the purpose of our existence? First and foremost, within indigenous worldview, we do understand that the very first purpose that we came into this existence is to clean our bloodline, clean our destiny line, clean our family line. And we'll talk about that later in a way that is easy for us to digest and understand. So if the reason why I come is to make better my bloodline, then the purpose of my existence will be first to ensuring that that is my goal. And that is why my relative will also draw my attention to saying, elevate me, take me out of my suffering, take me out of the road. Okay? Depends on how you live your life. In most cases, by the time we leave this world, we are in the process of transitioning. And that is why within indigenous cultures, we say, may you transition well. We hold back of calling the names of the dead immediately they transition. for some days in order not to interrupt that transitioning. And there are things we do immediately in order to also help the transitioning. And when a proper burial is done, we say, you have taken your dead out of the world into a better place. And when you even do what you should do, you would have taken them into their vestibule. That is the ancestral home from where they come from. From where they came into this world, okay? And I know that may be so much to digest now, so we won't divulge into that. But if you have any questions, any comment, feel free to ask. And based on your comments, we will know how to proceed, all right? So, yeah. So now, how do our dead, now they are no more dead, they now our ancestors, how do they speak to us? Before I continue, I really want to correct something. Your ancestors are your dead family relatives that have become ancestors. You cannot call another person an ancestor. No, it does not work that way. It might even work against you, okay? You cannot, for example, in the West, I know when they say call your ancestors, we leave our family members and we are calling the different leaders that truly have done noble deeds to fight for us, to help in the liberation of merited people, but they are not our ancestors. So that is what we are doing wrong, okay? We can reference them as our leaders, but don't get confused with the meaning of ancestors, all right? Okay, so that's what I wanted to clear up. How do they speak with us, right? So they will speak with you through the language you understand, all right? Now, the purpose why the Dr. Upiomoh channel exists is to have important conversations for those who, I understand that it may not be for everybody, and that it's fine, especially in the segment where we are teaching about spirituality. It will challenge your biases, all right? But we will be speaking just based on facts and truth here, all right? So the ancestors speak with you or to you based on the language that you understand. So for example, say you Christian, they will commune with you in that terms, through dreams, through those language you understand. If you Buddhist, it will be the same. It will be through that language you understand. If you Muslim, it will be the same. So they are not caught up in what they will rather describe as the social club that we belong to. There's no point them speaking in through symbols and languages that we don't understand anyway. They won't get through to us. And I give you an example how. So back in the time when I was Christian, I would say, oh, the Holy Spirit spoke with me, or God spoke with me, and right, and it's okay, right? But I didn't understand the concept of the Holy Spirit, or the idea of the Holy Spirit. It's very new. Okay, it's very new. And the Trinity that I was given or made to understand out, and they taught me, was Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Before it was Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, it was Father, Mother, and Son. Okay, so and the early church, or the early Christianity, still have that in their archive. In some, then that is where you would understand the concept of the Mother Mary. Why she is well elevated. Now that concept of Trinity that existed is coming from somewhere, and is coming from the original Trinity that exists within the teachings, within the Kemetic teachings, okay? Not to speak too much of it now, but when I say Kemetic thought, Kemetic teachings, Kemetic life, that was when the Pharaoh governed humanity, you see. So the original concept came from the ancestral father, of humanity, ancestral father, mother of humanity. So that is the Neter, that's the god, if you say, Wiser, Aishat, and Heru. Now the Greeks have it as Osiris, Isis, and Horus. Okay. Osiris, Isis, and Horus. So this divinity kept changing. There was the Persian version, the Greek version, then the Roman version, which even before it was Mary, it was another name, and Mary, and then now the mother was now replaced by the Holy Spirit. Okay, so but I'm saying that to say that we cannot say that our ancestors who existed and predated all the religion did not commune with us before the new ideas. Okay, and now the way this thing changes to fit political agenda, it may change tomorrow. If it changes to something else tomorrow, and that's what you hold on to, and the ancestors need to reach out to you, they will reach out to you in whatever you understand or in whatever language you hold there. There is no point you speak French and they'll be communing in German. Okay, it's that basics for them because they understand what we're dealing with. It's not their place to judge, it's in their place to do their best to help us so that we can do the best in this world, and by helping them, giving them strength, they also help us in this world. Okay, it's important for us to know how to honor our ancestors. I touched on it in one of, I think in the episode, yes, in the episode before this. We call their names. Okay, we reference their work. Okay, we continue their work as well, and in all that we do, we continue their way of life, we continue their thought, we carry their heritage with us. Okay, we've talked about the feeding, how you have to feed your ancestors, and there are days that are actually beneficial for us to do those feedings. So now I wouldn't want to prolong this section. If you do have questions, if you do have comments, do share your comments, do ask your question, and kindly bear with us because it's a new channel. We will be depending on your feedback as well to know how we can address more topics and expand. If what has been shared is pleasing to your ears, please kindly like, okay? Click the subscribe, click the notification bell, comment, and share. Again, thank you for being part of the Dr. Upiomoh channel today, and see you soon on our next episode.